Hey, really quick, I made two versions of this video. There's a longer version that's geared more towards aviation nuts like me or people who just really want to see the back of my head for a long time, and a shorter version that's more for people who just want to see what a first flight lesson looks like, or my family and friends who want to support the channel but don't really want to invest that much time in it. Right now, you're watching the long version. If you want to watch the other one, there should be a link right up there somewhere, or also a link in the show notes. Alright, let's do this. Alright, today is the day. It's 5:30 in the morning right now, driving to the airport for my second attempt at the first flight lesson. It's a little below freezing right now, and I was concerned there might be a little bit of frost on the airplane, and you can see here that there is. Even a little bit is enough to make it so you either can't take off or you do, and it's dangerous. But the sun's about to come up, so I'm hoping that this is going to melt off pretty quickly.
A number somewhere on the panel.
Oh, there you go. 903 Whiskey Papa.
Nice
and short.
I wasn't expecting brass.
Yeah.
Pretty fancy.
Well, if anything, this plane is fancy.
For a 140.
Maybe for a 140. Yeah. All right, interior. I put the flaps back up. Passenger load brief. You're loaded. Fuel, it's on the right tank right now. Circuit breakers. So I think those are all there, right? It's locked. Yep. Avionics are off. Autopilot is off. Carb heat is off. Mixture is full rich. Throttle slight. Do you have a recommended number of times to prime it?
When it's cold like this, you probably want to do 4 or 5. And as you pull it out, you can feel the gas sucking in there.
Yeah.
And so just make sure you feel that. That way you confirm that you're actually priming.
Brakes. Master on.
Beacon on.
Fuel pump. All right, mags to start. Which then I'll yell clear.
Yeah, and when you go to, anytime you're starting, make sure you have one hand on the throttle.
Got it.
Because you might need to pump it if it starts to catch, like if it's kind of like popping and running, then you want to like give it some gas. But it may, when you crank, it may like end up at a really high RPM and you want to pull it back, and you're looking for TAC is 1,000 RPM. Clear. Yeah, give it a break. So the primer puts the fuel in the cylinder, and pushing the throttle puts the fuel into the carburetor.
Okay.
Yeah, so let's try it. Give it a couple pumps as you start. Yeah, that's good.
All right.
-6, dew point -1.
Alright, I already have tuned ATIS.
3034. Visual approach, runway 24 in use. Advise on initial contact you have hotel.
So what do we get from the ATIS?
Wind was variable at 3. Dew point the dew point temperature spread is good. Visibility is good. No clouds, which is kind of obvious. And we have hotel. That's
cool.
Basically everything I need, right?
Yep.
Fox Tower, Cherokee 903 Whiskey Papa is at transient parking with hotel. Request taxi to the active. Departures to the west.
Cherokee 903 Whiskey Papa, Fox ground runways 24. Taxi via Alpha 7.
Taxi via Alpha 7. Cherokee 3 Whiskey Papa.
Yeah, don't forget runway 24.
Alright, cool. Let's do this.
We're rolling.
So one weird thing about taxiing an airplane is you steer it with your feet, and a lot of students mess up with that and try to steer with their hands. Of course, I've knew this since I was a little kid, so I was pretty sure it wouldn't be a problem for me.
I keep trying to steer with my hands.
Yeah, it'll keep happening.
And I'm still trying to steer with my hands. Alright.
Use your feet. So in this airplane, since you don't have toe brakes, you're going to have to plan your stops ahead of time.
Go to power a bit.
Yeah, the sequence is power all the way to idle, because if you don't have power at idle, you're just fighting against yourself trying to stop.
Mm-hmm.
And then you lock it and let go of the throttle, grab the brake, and pull the brake to stop.
Okay.
But it's going to be weird because it's not like toe brakes.
Right.
I guess for you, maybe it's not weird because you don't.
I'm not that used to
not used to anything, but you're going to be excellent at this really quick then.
I guess.
So
I don't have as much to unlearn.
like left pedal now, left pedal, power to idle, bunch of left pedal.
Oh, okay.
And then brakes. And then we'll leave it on.
All right. Sounds good.
I think that works pretty well.
All right. The magnetic compass matches. Does it match the heading indicator? We're at season 30, and no, I'm not. So we need to turn that to.
You push in.
Oh, sorry. Actually, it's this one. That sets the bug. It looks like. We're seeing about 3 easy. Run up. Brakes are set. Fuel to the proper tank. We already set that. Trim for takeoff. I don't know. Should we go a little up? I would assume.
I would go either at
almost
that big
neutral.
mark or a little to the downside of big mark.
Flight controls.
So what you're looking for there is the easy way to do it is put your thumb up.
Okay.
And then that aileron should be up.
Okay.
Which
cool.
means that one should be down. And then your thumb's pointing that side, so that one should be up, that one should be down.
All right.
And if you get in the habit of looking at them both, right, because if you look at one and it's right, the other one might be wrong.
Sure.
Yeah, and then the elevator, when you pull up, your thumb's back, right? So it should be up.
Yeah.
Right, does that make sense?
Yep,
When you pull
that makes
up?
sense. Instruments. So, yeah, what instruments do I need to check here?
Yeah,
I see airspeed 0.
I think you just look at them
Altitude
all,
good.
and
Vertical speeds
you're
good.
trying to interpret what's it telling you, right? Rather than obviously the instrument's there, so it's not just yes, it's there,
Right,
but what's it telling you, and is it appropriate?
Okay, so
And do it with everything. So you got 9 there or 7 there. So airspeed 0, that's fine. And we're still waiting on oil temperature. It's not quite in the green.
Okay, we'll check that again during the
after the run up.
Yep. All right. Okay, mixture for best power with primers in and lock 2,000 RPM.
Okay. And if you feel it start to roll,
pull back.
Power to idle immediately.
All right, cool. All right, so mag. So we're looking for a drop. I'm not sure exactly how much of a drop, but
it should be about 100 to 50 max.
Okay, that's left.
You got
50, that's good.
60 RPM.
All right, here's right.
You go back to both between the two.
Okay. So back to both.
So you got 20, 40, 20, 50.
20, 50, 20, 60.
Left.
All right, so here's left.
And so that was a 70 RPM drop. Okay, back to right.
Okay.
Make sure it hasn't changed, and then you go to the right. And it's about the same, so a little more on the right, but
all right.
And then back to both. Yep.
Carb heat. So we're looking for a drop again.
Okay, leave the carb heat on.
Okay.
And what's next? Vacuum.
Now our vacuum looks good. Amps and volts.
Amps are here, volts are here.
All right, and we mostly just want to see positive for amps, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And this is volts up here?
Yep. Yeah, above 12 and a half.
Okay. Fuel pressure is right there. It's in the green. Oil pressure was low, but now it's green.
Oil pressure is good.
Yep. Oil temperature is...
Yeah, it's getting better.
It's good. Okay, it's getting there. All right, we're going to idle.
Yep.
Make sure the engine doesn't die on us when we're idle, right?
Yep, that's why we leave carb heat on, too.
Okay. And friction lock?
Back to 1,000.
All right, cool.
Yeah, just leave it at 1,000.
Okay, sorry.
Because we're still a little cold on oil temperature, so trying to get it warmed up. And then carb heat off, since we know it didn't quit kill the engine.
Got it. Okay. Fuel pump on. Heading bug, we don't need it because we're just flying that way.
Yeah, I would just get in the habit of using it, so just set your...
So we want to go west-ish, right?
Well, set it to the takeoff runway.
Oh, okay, good idea.
That
so
way,
that's 2-4, right?
Yep, that way you don't take off on the wrong runway as well.
That's a good idea. All right, cool.
Door's locked.
Door's locked, all right.
Oh, I didn't get
this. That latch up there. Yeah. Windows, yeah. Strobes, landing light on.
We'll turn it on when we get our clearance. And then read the takeoff portion as well.
In a full throttle, we're looking for 22.75 RPM or greater. We'll check oil pressure. Rotate at 4. Let's see, these big numbers are not miles, so let's go with miles then. So we'll look for 55 to rotate, and then we'll climb out at VY, which is 86.
Yeah, let's try this checklist.
Okay.
Hey, Cass. Really? You're going to give me calibrated airspeed? Let's not use that checklist.
All the checklists are bad. I think I'm probably going to kind of come up with my own checklist.
Yeah, you absolutely should. You do your rotate at 55, the nose will come up, right? So you start here, and as we're going down the runway, you pull the yoke back, raise the nose just a bit off the ground. And what you want to do is you see this pitch attitude, right? With the reference of the cowl out there to the horizon. Like for me, it's about that much of a difference.
Uh-huh.
And so when you pull the yoke back, you want the nose on the horizon. So bring that what is it, a 3-inch gap to 0.
Okay.
And then that's to start with. And the whole flight, all we're doing is we're talking about the nose of the horizon. So
Okay.
you see what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Flat line out there.
Yeah.
So if you start using instruments to reference, it's going to get hard. All these instruments have a lag. So just make sure we're using the horizon.
So set everything based on outside, and then check these to
check
make.
with that. Yeah.
All right.
Once we're above 800 feet, you can turn onto our heading, which I usually just use.
Which is pretty much straight.
Runway 24, wind.
Yeah, I usually just use the roads out there, so just follow the roads westbound.
Okay.
The point is that you pick a heading and you fly that heading rather than wandering around. Okay, sound good to you?
Yep, that sounds great.
All right, I'm gonna hold your checklist.
Okay, thank you.
What are you gonna ask Tower?
I'm gonna say November.
Brake.
Brake. I'm pushing on the rudders, trying to do the brake here. All right. Okay.
And thumb. So
And thumb. All right. So I'm gonna say Fox Tower, Cherokee 903 Whiskey Papa is holding short, runway 24, departure to the west.
Cool.
All right. Okay.
And what's he gonna say?
He's gonna say, hopefully, Cherokee 903 Whiskey Papa clear for takeoff, runway 24. And I'll say clear for takeoff, 24. All right, cool. Fox Tower, Cherokee 903 Whiskey Papa is holding short, runway 24, departure to the west.
Cherokee 903 Whiskey Papa Fox Tower, runway 24, cleared for takeoff, winds 250 at 4, westbound departures approved.
Clear for takeoff, runway 24, 3 Whiskey Papa.
So you got your clearance, landing light comes on, brake comes
it.
off, and then we got our clearance, but just make sure nobody's on final,
Okay.
and nobody's coming the opposite direction.
Okay.
All right, let's go. And then, so you're going to taxi out to the center line. There's a bunch of stripes. Look for the big gap between the stripes to turn onto.
Okay.
And then kind of make sure we're aligned with the runway before we actually go. No rush here. There's nobody in the pattern, so.
Okay,
Yeah, see
I
this
see the
big
gap
gap
now. Yeah. I didn't know there was a gap in the middle there.
That should get us pretty much lined up with the center line. And then when you put throttle in, you want to go all the way in, and then hold it there.
All right.
Ready when you are.
Numbers look good.
Yep, pedals to keep us
matches the heading. So
line.
here we go.
Nice.
All right, rotate at 55, right?
Yep.
Is always this side?
Don't forget to lock the throttle. Keep your hand on
Thank you. Okay.
it. Airspeed's alive. A little bit of right pedal to keep us on the center line. There's a rotate, so bring the nose back just a bit. A little bit more, a little bit more, a little bit more, right there.
All right.
And we're flying. Now
Woohoo!
pitch for 80.
How about that?
Yep. Pitch for 80, so a little lower on the nose. And you're going to want to trim those down, I believe.
Thanks.
Yeah, there we go. Looks like 90 works pretty good. That way you keep your nose on the horizon. You see that reference?
Yeah. Yeah, that's a
Cool.
good, easy reference.
So it looks like our trim is that first tick back from neutral.
Okay. Cool.
So now we're looking for 800 feet before we can start our turnout.
All right.
And we get 2,500 RPM. That's pretty good.
Cool.
And we switch to alt. Look at that. It works.
Nice.
All right, after takeoff checklist. Flaps are up, power set. Shooting for 90. So if you get a little fast, just a little back pressure will keep you at 90.
Okay.
There's 800 feet, so we can start our turnout. Just follow the road westbound.
Okay. At this point, could I stop, keep my hand on
I
the
would
throttle,
keep it there,
just keep it there forever?
Whenever you want, pull power.
Okay.
And yeah, if you get in the habit of keeping it there forever, that would be a bummer.
Okay.
Just follow the road
Okay.
westbound.
Okay. So. The cruise altitude I'm looking for?
Yeah, let's go to 5,500.
Okay.
First takeoff, huh? Nice job.
Ah, thank you. That, and that's easier than a tail wheel, for sure.
Yeah, definitely. So as we get to altitude, you're going to want to, in order to level off of the altitude, you're going to have to like kind of lead it a little bit. So when you get to like 4950, you want to start lowering the nose. And then you also want to start pulling the power out because as we accelerate, the RPM will increase.
Okay.
Because we have a fixed pitch prop.
Yep.
And we don't want to exceed 2,700 RPM. But you kind of want to lower the nose first, let the engine speed up a little bit, and then start to work it out. Because if you pull the power first, you don't accelerate.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
Yep, that makes
Or
sense.
it takes you longer to accelerate. And you're cross-checking. Pick a mountain out there that you want to aim the nose at.
Okay.
And that'll give you a visual reference up there that you can look at, and then you can make sure that your heading matches. And,
Cherokee 3 Whiskey Papa for exchange group.
just say your tail number.
3 Whiskey Papa, have a good day. Yeah, so for me it looks like for 90 the side picture is the nose a little above the horizon, I think. But
and just remember there's a lag there.
Yeah,
so
there's a lag there. So.
Yeah, so if you...
Oh, no, it is. Okay, well, yeah, I'll hold this for a while and see what it looks like.
Happens. And if you're holding force on it, just trim out the force.
All right, which I am, so let's do...
That's down.
I think it's up.
Oh, you're right, that's
all right. Which, I was talking to...
No, that's right.
I was talking to... Cool. But we're going a little fast. I was talking to a friend of mine who also flies Cherokee 140s, and I asked him, which direction is up and which direction is down on the trim, and he said, yeah, even Cherokee pals don't know that. You just try one and see what happens.
It's righty tighty, lefty loosey, so you're basically screwing
like
those up or down. Yeah.
All right. That works for me. But I did think it was funny. He's like, yeah, no one knows.
Yeah.
You try one, see what happens. Do it the other way.
Yeah, just watch your heading. We're drifting left,
okay.
too.
You're right. Yeah, I can't see my road anymore, but I see my mountain.
Yeah,
so.
that's why you pick a mountain. Exactly.
Got it.
There's your altitude.
Okay, and I overshot it, of course.
It's probably fine, because as you lower the nose, we'll accelerate. So lower the nose and be ready to pull power out.
Got it.
Keep that nose coming down to about where we were on the ground to start with.
Okay, I think that's...
so yeah, a little bit lower.
A little lower.
And trim is your friend.
Hey, you really can feel the pressure, when you trim, when you hit where...
Yep, you want to keep the nose coming down. We're still climbing. Yeah, let's try there.
Well, okay. Okay. Are we really still climbing?
Yeah, right there.
Wow.
That's right there.
It really feels like we're going down.
No, we're still climbing.
Still climbing. Wow. All right.
Well, we're also increasing power, so let's keep it at 25 just to keep it easy. Yeah, that's looking pretty good.
All right.
So see, the nose is actually lower than it was on the ground.
Yeah.
Cool, so let's parallel the mountain. So kind of 45-degree turn to the right.
Okay.
And then as you turn, the nose is going to go somewhere, so you want to keep the nose...
Pull it up just a little bit.
Yeah. That's good. Let's fly this heading for a while.
All right.
You feeling trimmed out there?
I think I need a little up trim.
I don't think you do.
No?
I think you need a little down trim.
Really? Okay.
Nice and quiet in here.
Citation 862 Golf Sierra, 3 miles to the
Yeah, it really isn't bad.
with India.
That's looking pretty good right there.
All right.
So now we have the friction locked, and we're set to 2,500 feet, or RPM.
All right.
And we're 100 feet high, so let's get back to, don't change anything on trim, but just push the nose down, we'll get back to 5,500. And then when you let the pressure off the yoke there, we should be able to stay right at 55. So we increased airspeed in the descent a little bit, and then we'll bleed off airspeed as we level off. But it should stay pretty much trimmed if we had it trimmed to begin with.
Okay.
Cool.
I mean, obviously I'm not doing perfectly, but this is easier than I thought.
Well, yeah,
I realized this is actually the first time I've really flown a trainer. Because I've flown in a Pitts, I've flown in a Citabria, which is sort of a trainer, but and I've flown in an RV. It's an aerobatic trainer, but I've flown in an RV6, and I've never really flown something benign,
Yeah, none of those are primary trainers. So as we're going along here, you want to just cross-check your engine RPM is what you expect it to be. You got good fuel pressure and your oil pressure. Every now and then check those things.
Just do a glance over everything and kind of make sure everything's green.
And we don't have CHD, so you don't have to worry about that.
What's
but you can,
CHD?
Cylinder heads.
Oh, okay.
But you can lean, and you can see the result of your leaning here. So as you lean, that little needle will increase.
Okay.
But we don't really need to mess with that right now.
Yeah.
So let's do another turn to the parallel that mountain ridge.
Okay.
And then as you turn, you see where your nose is now, so keep your nose
keep my
there.
nose right there.
Yeah.
All right.
You're going to need a little bit of back pressure as you get into the turn, but it shouldn't be much. See, if you see your nose coming up too much, you need release some of your back pressure.
Okay.
That's why you see we got a climb going, but it's
Okay.
good, not bad, not too much. And then we'll roll out parallel the ridge this way. So start your roll out. Yep, bring the wings back to level parallel on this ridge, right?
Okay.
Not sure if that was clear. Yeah, so we lost a little bit of...
We lost a little altitude at the end. But I think I was climbing, and then I
Yep.
kind of overcorrected a bit.
Let's try, let's get back on your trimmed air altitude there.
All right.
Oh yeah, the heater works real good.
Oh, the sun is
Yeah.
working pretty well. Once we turn into the sun, it's like a completely different feel. Nope, I probably should have leveled out a little earlier there.
Yeah, things happen slow, but you gotta just keep cross-checking the thing that you're adjusting. So remember to set your sight picture. That's what's gonna keep you on altitude.
Okay.
Nice. So that looks a little high to me.
Yeah, that's because I got a little low, so I was trying to come
got
back up.
As long as you got a reason.
All right.
All right, so set that sight picture.
All right.
Looks a little high to me still. Right there.
Okay.
And it looks too low now. Because we confirm with a little bit of descent. So I think you need just a hair nose up trim, yeah.
All right.
And we'll spend a good amount of time talking about trim initially because it is pretty important. It'll make your job a lot harder or a lot easier depending on how you use it.
All right.
So let's do another left turn back westbound.
Okay.
No airplanes around us. So just remember to keep that nose on attitude consistent through the turn here.
Does that seem about...
That looks pretty good to me.
Okay, cool.
And then we'll just cross-check altitude and vertical speed. That looks good.
All right.
Oh yeah, that sun is freaking warm.
Yeah.
Yeah, looking real good. So you got just a little high on the vertical speed, but not bad. So if you do correct it, you want to do a very minor correction, like almost nothing at all, almost imperceptible.
All right.
Because otherwise, it's real easy to let the nose drop too much. So let's parallel these roads back westbound.
Okay.
Real nice. So that's a 30-degree turn, which is standard, and you want to go no steeper than that when you're in the pattern. Okay. But you want to always use 30 degrees out here when you're flying around.
Okay.
November 2 Golf Sierra, left at Alpha.
All right, a little bit of, so you had a little bad back pressure in the turn. You want to release that.
I kept it through.
Yeah, there you go.
Cool.
I think I will be about 5 minutes again.
Nice. Okay, let's work on your first stall. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, sounds great. Want to do power on or power off?
We'll do power off, and we'll do clean. So walk me through what you're going to do.
All right. So would I want to turn on carb heat for that, do you think? Or?
Yeah, so anytime we go below 2,000 RPM, you want carb heat.
So I'll do carb heat, pull power to idle, and just hold a steady attitude until I stall.
Steady altitude.
Steady altitude,
You have to change attitude, otherwise we'll never stall.
Right, okay, sure.
Yeah, just keep the heading in your cross stand, so maybe point at the mountain. And you can use your heading bug too to help you out there.
All right.
So otherwise it'll drift.
When we get to the mountain, then I'll set the heading bug.
And you can cross-check your magnetic heading indicator is correct still.
Looks good.
Okay, let's do it then.
All right, cool.
Actually, before we do it, what's the recovery?
Just give it a little nose down until it stops stalling, and then pull power, or give it power.
Well, it's both simultaneously. So you want full power in as you're lowering the nose.
Okay.
Cool.
Sounds good. So carb heat is on.
Keep that heading in your scan.
There, and we'll go throttle to idle.
Okay, a little bit of left pedal to compensate.
All right, we'll try to hold our altitude
here. Here comes the speed. There's 90.
It'll be good to see if this stall's close to where it's supposed to.
Well, I don't think that red mark is accurate, but it should be the bottom of the white arc.
Okay.
Or somewhere around there.
Well, yeah, the white arc's for with
flaps.
flaps down, right? So
this says 58.
And we'll,
that's the horn, so that's good.
All right. Do you want to go until we like
No,
really feel buff it in?
that's perfect first stall, but we will eventually need to do them. So let's finish this recovery.
All right, just bring it up to 55.
Well, yeah, and back to your altitude.
There, yeah.
Oh, sorry, that's what you're doing.
Yeah, that's what
back
I'm
to your
talking
altitude
about,
and then back to that trim condition.
Okay. All right, we're back up to 55.
All right, so set your nose pitch attitude back to the cruise attitude, right? So it was what, a little bit lower probably, right about there.
All right.
And then set your 5,500 or 2,500 RPM.
Which actually we're already about there.
Well, we'll speed up as we level off because we still got a climb going, right?
You're ready to do.
I wasn't looking there.
Well, I do though.
Yeah. All right, let's do a 180.
Okay.
So we can get out of the sun here.
All right.
Clear right, looks good. We better head back to the airport.
Okay.
So just right turn.
All right.
Actually, maybe just head straight south. That way we don't have to fly into the sun.
All right.
Maybe get ATIS on the way.
Okay. Is that already ATIS? No, that's ground.
ATIS, so
that's
just
ATIS.
comp
3036. Visual approach, runway
Just
24
point
in
to
use.
I can't talk to you apparently when the ATIS is on,
No.
so just point towards the Poppy Hill there. Yeah. The Poppy Reserve.
Okay, yeah, I see what you're talking about.
And we don't need to climb anymore, so we don't need full power.
All right.
Yep, so it's at 2,500. There you go. Nice job with the lock. The lock you can really just need to crack
Just like
it.
one little twist.
And then
Give it a little.
now we can work ATIS if you're ready.
Yep.
At 0 Zulu, wind 250 at 5. Weather better than 5,005. Temperature 1, dew point -6. Altimeters 3036. Visual approach, runway 24 in use. Advise on initial contact you have India.
And so see the little hill that's just south of that road? There's like 3 little hills right off our wingtip.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
That's Little Buttes, and right next to it there's a Little Buttes Airport.
Yeah.
So if you fly straight to that little hill, and then we can report Little Buttes on our initial radio call.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yep. So we'll say something like Cherokee 9er 3 Whiskey Papa is over Little Buttes with India to land?
Yep.
Okay.
And then he's going to say?
He'll say, make right downwind for 24?
Yeah, he'll probably say
like
report right downwind 24.
Okay.
We can start a descent too. Let's go down to 4,500.
Okay.
So first thing you do is power reduction. You can go to like 2,000. We don't need to go to idle since we don't want to slow down, but try 2,000.
Oh, I went the wrong way.
Yep. There you go. 24 will work.
All right.
And that way you don't have to change your trim, right?
Okay.
Because the reduction of power means that you're going to lose thrust, which means your nose will drop.
Okay.
Your airspeed should stay the same because you're trimmed to that airspeed.
Okay.
So yeah, actually this heading works. We'll just be a little bit right of. No, it's fine.
Okay.
So actually, and when you do your initial call, make sure to include your altitude. I don't remember if you said that or not, but
yeah, I didn't.
all right, and we're ready for your radio call.
All right, let me give us another practice.
Yep.
All right, so we're going to say Fox Tower, Cherokee 9er 3 Whiskey Papa is over Little Buttes with over India?
India, yep.
In India at 4,500 or 4,200 to land.
Perfect.
Okay.
Fox Tower, Cessna 68961, ready for takeoff. Request northwest departure.
Tower number 68961, Fox Tower, northwestbound departures approved, runway 24. Cleared
A little bit of left pedal there.
Okay.
Cleared for takeoff, 961.
Okay, here we go.
Go ahead.
Fox Tower, Cherokee 9er 3 Whiskey Papa is over Little Buttes, 4,400 with India to land.
November 93 Whiskey Papa, Fox Tower, make right traffic, runway 24, report downwind midfield.
Just say report downwind 2 forward.
Report downwind 2 forward, 3 Whiskey Papa.
Perfect. All right, so just turn to direct the airport, and then we'll want to be on downwind at 3,400 feet.
Okay,
so just a little bit of a power reduction. Yeah, try 2,400 again. That seemed to work pretty good. Yeah, 2,450 even.
All right.
And then we don't want to go below 3,400 feet.
Okay.
I use 1,000-foot pattern altitude. Does that work for you?
That works for me.
Okay. Some people really like the 800-foot thing, but I prefer a little extra altitude.
All right. Someone just got cleared to take off. I don't see him. Do you see him?
Yeah. No, I don't yet. It was a 150, so it's not moving quick.
Okay.
But they are turned this direction, so
we'll keep an eye out.
We'll keep an eye out. Yeah.
All right.
And so see that the runway, and then on this side of the runway, there's an intersection of roads.
Yeah. Okay.
So we aim for that
directly between us and the tower base.
That intersection is your downwind spacing. So if you fly right over that intersection, you'll be the right distance from the runway.
Perfect.
We got about 500, 600 feet to go. I think I see the status. Nope, that's a car. And then so we're going to use, let's see, pre-landing brakes. We're not going to touch them right now. Landing lights still on. Seat belts are on. Mixture's set. Fuel pump.
I left it on the whole time.
No, that's fine.
Not bad.
So we'll use 80 on downwind. 80 on downwind. 70 on. Wait, is that right?
We'll look at the little numbers.
Yeah, right.
Citation A62 Golf Sierra.
Oh, okay, here we go. Yeah, that'll work. 80 on downwind.
Tower. Traffic at the departure ends westbound.
So let's not go below 80.
Takeoff, wind calm.
Until we get on final.
24.
Okay.
You got 200 feet to go. Oh, it's a citation. Okay.
I think you'd be able to see a citation.
Yeah. He's not started his takeoff roll yet. I'm just looking for the 150 still. Nice job aiming for the intersection.
Thank you.
No, there's the 150. We're good.
Okay. I do not see him.
Yeah, he's right over the prison.
Okay.
It's fine.
Oh, yeah, I see him. Got him.
And the citation is on the runway, so...
All right, and when we get over there, we'll just say 3 Whiskey Papas on
right downwind.
Right downwind?
Yeah,
right.
right downwind, 24, full stop. And then you'll probably want to set something like 2,000 RPM to start with to try to get to 80.
Okay.
Sorry, 90 on downwind. That's what it was. 90 on downwind, 80 on base, and then 70 on final.
Okay.
Yeah, perfect.
Okay.
Yeah, you can start.
Fox Tower, Cherokee 903 Whiskey Papa on right downwind to land. Full stop.
Cherokee 3 Whiskey Papa, runway 24, clear to land, wind calm.
No, I mean, level off.
Clear to land, 3 Whiskey Papa. I should have said the number too.
No, you shouldn't have said the altitude, but just we're trying to shoot for 3,400.
Okay, got it. All right. My bad.
No, you're good.
Okay.
First time in the pattern. So that spacing looks good, about 3/4 of the way out the wing, right, to the runway.
Okay.
And then make sure
there's our citation.
Yeah, make sure that you're shooting for 90, right? So we want a little bit less power.
A little less power. All right.
Shoot for 200 or 2,100, and then don't descend anymore. We keep descending. So trim nose up. Yep, there you go. And that should put us at about 90. How's that feeling?
I need a little more trim.
And then downwind to beam. We can make sure we're in the wide arc. We'll do our first notch flaps if you want to get it.
Yep.
Let's not fly towards the runway.
Okay.
So I'm turning you left because we keep flying towards the runway. So really, see the wet part of the lake? You want to aim to the left side of that.
Citation 2 Golf Sierra.
All right, there's 90, perfect.
124.55.
Now we're just looking for the 45 degrees of the downwind.
Okay.
So just watch your speed. We're not slowing any more than 90, and we want to start a descent. So we'll go 1,800 on RPM, and you can grab carb heat.
Carb heat on.
And
should we have enriched the mixture, or?
I did on the way out.
Okay, cool. All right, should we turn base?
Yep, let's do base.
All right.
Now we can do 80 on base. And we'll get our next knots of flaps once we get there.
Okay.
This is looking good, nice and wide, plenty of time. We're looking for other airplanes. Already cleared to land. Let's trim for 80. So bring the nose up towards the hair. And don't forget to trim. That's looking good. And a little less power to keep us on the descent.
Oop, that's the wrong way.
Yep.
All right.
You want to go slower.
A little more?
No, yeah, a little less.
A little less power?
Yep.
All right.
And we're trying to turn on to final.
Final.
And you grab that next notch of flaps too.
All right. And I undershot it.
So make sure you're in the...
That slip.
Yeah, that's good.
Not bad.
All right, so now you can reduce power again. Keep your hand on the throttle from here on in. Let's go power idle.
All right.
And we're just pitching for 80, 75.
Okay.
Yeah, this is going to work out good. And you're tracking that center line, so come to the right just a hair.
Okay.
Feel that big drop, so a little bit of power
a little more power.
Counteract that. That's good right there. There's 75, looking good on speed. And you're eyeballing those two big white marks.
Okay.
And
pull up a little bit? Or
yeah,
flare out a little bit?
Yeah, now you can start your flare, powered idle.
Right.
Start the flare.
Ooh.
A little too much, that was my fault. There you go.
All right.
Nice. Powered idle.
That? Okay, powered idle.
Keep your hand on the throttle until we're stopped.
Retract flaps?
Not yet.
Or not yet? All right.
If we were going around, we would, but
okay.
We don't really want to mess with the brakes yet
Cherokee 3 West Papa, left turn near discretion.
Keep us on the center line, man. Come on.
All right. Do I need to acknowledge that, or just?
Yeah.
We'll turn left out before it. 3 spot.
Keep us on the center line.
All right.
And then now we're getting to taxi speed, so you can use power to keep taxi.
All right.
Grab your car P there. Not bad.
All right.
And then power idle for the turn, and you're going to need some brakes. Yeah.
I wish we had toe brakes.
We'll figure it out. Yep, you're good.
All
and
right.
then once we clear, we'll set the parking brake.
Look about right?
Yeah, there should be a yellow line there.
Okay.
That's for you.
All right.
Slow us down, slow us down, slow us down. Perfect.
All right.
And then just leave it set.
Okay. Parking brake set, mixture folding. There we go.
Cool.
All right. And yep, that's pretty much it. Well, mags off. We'll need all this again in a bit, but.
And master.
Master off.
Yeah, just get all the.
Awesome.
Sweet.
Cool.
Nice job, man.
All right, thanks. That was fun.
Yeah, that was awesome.
So in our post-flight debrief, Justin said that my radio work was really good.
Yeah, really good on the radios. I think you're, in terms of new students, I think you're probably the best on the radios that I've ever had.
So I'm definitely by no means a radio expert, but I think the techniques I used to practice for my first flight worked out pretty well. So make sure you subscribe and stay tuned for my next video where I'm going to give you my tips on how to practice your radio calls.
That was awesome. I loved it. You know, the first time I flew in Satabria 7 years ago, I was very serious in the cockpit, and then for the rest of the day I couldn't stop smiling and my cheeks hurt from smiling too much, and I think today is exactly the same way. In the cockpit I was pretty straight-faced, and then as soon as I got in my car I just started smiling, and probably won't stop for the rest of the day, yeah, unless my kids do something terrible. Anyway, I had a blast. Looking forward to next time.